Hey everybody, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I appreciate y'all watching the channel as always. This is a push mower I've only had maybe like two of, and I've got another one here. A job that you haven't seen on the channel before. It's a Husqvarna all-wheel drive push mower with a Honda engine on it. So this thing probably was fairly expensive new, probably in the $500 range, because this is basically every option checked on the Husqvarna list here. It is not in the best condition anymore. It looks like it has been sitting quite a while. It does run, it does drive, and so we got that going for us, but it basically needs everything. I don't really have any money in this. I got this for doing a job swapping out I gave him a discount on a Toro push mower I fixed for the guy. I only charged him for parts. I didn't charge for labor for just swapping out a wheel height adjuster. So don't really have any money in this. What it does need, and what I think I'm going to do, is swap the entire all-wheel drive self-propel system on this. All three pulleys and belt, I believe. So three idler pulleys. I'm not going to change the transmission pulleys out. One of them is stuck from where this has been sitting, and it has rusted, and it has worn a groove into the plastic. So there is no saving that pulley. I think I can get the whole kit for about $50, $55. After I put everything back together, this should be close to a $200 mower. I have anywhere between $150 and $200. I do have the bag for it, as you can see. I have a discharge chute, and I have a mulch cover for it that were just off of the mower. So we'll go ahead and get started on this. I'll give you a quick walk around of everything on it really quick. And if you have any questions about this video, feel free to reach out to me, Ellis at ellismowers.com, or at ellismowers09 on Instagram and Facebook. Let's get started. Let's take a look at this. Again, this is an all-wheel drive Husqvarna push mower. It has basically every option on it that you could get when this was made in, I don't know, 2013, 14, maybe a little bit earlier. We'll see what the model number says, if we can source it. There's my mulch and discharge chute. And cover. Oh, I already have had to replace the pull rope recoil. I am going to get this one off and actually put a legit pull rope on it instead of this one that's dry rotted. The pull rope was bad. I had that part in stock. Let's see what the date sticker is on this, if it is anywhere on here. It should be on this side. Here we go. 961450. What's the serial? 051115. So 2015 model, makes about 7 years old. It's been run pretty hard, although I've got the bag there. Honda motor runs, or Honda engine, excuse me. Looking under it, the blade's pretty trashed and bent. We'll replace that. All-wheel drive works, but the pulleys are... I'll show you when I take the pulleys off how bad they are. I'll get it out here. I'll show you that it runs real quick. So that's a good thing. Probably was a little off frame there, but you saw it run. Self-propel works. Pulleys are bad though, so This is gonna need pulleys and a belt. Like I said, they're about $50-some. If I had more than just a few dollars in this thing, I wouldn't worry about trying to fix it. But since I have no money in it, if I put that money forth into this, I'll still stand to make, $100 for hours worth of work. I mean, ain't really got, don't really take too much to change out a belt and some pulleys, I don't think. So that's what we're going to do to this. I'll order the parts. When the parts get in, I will put some work into this. We'll make it look nice again and get it out the door at the beginning of 2023. Alright guys, so let's look under here and see what we got going on. Blade I think is bent. I think on this side it's bent. Hopefully the shaft isn't. But I bought a pulley kit and a belt kit for this. This whole shebang is like right at $50, a little over $50. Thought it was priced a little high, honestly, but in order to make this properly work, it needs to be done. So, first thing we got to do, 9/16 right here to take off the blade. There is a cover here to get off as well. It's attached. Where are we attached at? Somewhere down here. Right there, it looks like a half. And then we've got in the back here by the cover, we've got a 5/16, another 5/16 here on top. It looks like two of them right there. So I'm going to take those off. While I'm also at it, I'm going to take off the front all-wheel drive cover. Can I do that? I think I need to do that. And it looks like we have a couple of tabs right there that'll help get it off. And then we probably got some bolts in order to get it off as well. Oh, it looks like it's attached. The whole front axle is attached here. So we'll cross that bridge here in just a second. So we're under the mower. Those three bolts took that plastic cover off right here. And we are in the process of taking the pulleys off. You can see that this belt is fairly worn, mostly because, let me show you. So we've got 7/16 takes off the pulleys. I sprayed them with a little bit of lubricant just in case they were rusted on there. This pulley, like all the pulleys, got a bunch of rust on them. I don't know if this mower sat for a while or something along those lines, but so keep an eye on the orientation. Again, it goes inside, coming from the front to the back on the top side of the mower. On the bottom side of the mower, it's going to come from the rear pulley, around this pulley to the crank pulley, and around that pulley over to the front transaxle. So we're just getting all three of these off now. And the culprit probably wouldn't have done anything to it if this didn't happen to it. But the culprit is this pulley right here. So it burned a hole through it because the bearing froze up in it. So either way, I needed to do a pulley, and it'd behoove me to just go ahead and do the whole thing as opposed to just only do one pulley. So that's the thought process behind that. In terms of getting the stuff on the rear off, I'm going to attack that next, and I'll let y'all know what I end up having to do. It doesn't look like it's the easiest thing in the world, but we'll get it done. I think what I need to do is take off this rear plastic cover, which is held on by let's see. What is it held on by, guys? I don't even know. We'll find out in the front. I'll let y'all know what I need to do in order to get that belt off of those transaxles. Alright, so to get the front cover off here, there's 2 bolts. One is right there, the other one is right here. They're just in front of this shield for the blade. And that takes everything off right there. And now we've got access to this transmission. We should just be able to pop that wheel off right there. That pulley is in pretty bad shape, but we're talking about low speed situations here, so nothing crazy. You can see that I'm turning the pulley, and it's working. So didn't slip off any of the pulleys, so we don't have any issue with that. But it just pulls back through this slot here on the deck. And then we've got to attack the rear transaxle. How we do that? We'll find out. And let me mention real quick for the front cover, there's those 2 tabs right there you have to pull out as well. Otherwise, those tabs are right there. Otherwise, it'll fight you trying to come off. Alright, so we're going to take this back cover off too. It's not as bad as I thought. But there's 2 5/16 that go right there on either side of the mulch plate chute there. You take off, and then in order for you to get this one off, you may not have to if you don't have these little side skirts on your mower. I had to take a 1/2 inch, and then there's another 5/16 that's hiding under that. So I'm about to take the other side off, and I'll show you what I'm going to do in order to get off the rear belt. We basically have to tilt the transaxle down. So I'll get this off here real quick. I need to get stronger. Let me get an extension real quick. So we'll take this off. 5/16. Job ain't hard, it's just getting to it, you know? Let me tilt this camera back over, or tilt this mower back over. And we should be able to take everything off now. Always tilt the exhaust side down as well. You don't want to be dumping oil into the carb. So that takes that cover off. That gives us basically full access to this rear transmission. You can see this thing's been sitting up for a while for some reason. So what I'm going to do is pull this up, take the engagement cable off, and that allows me to bend this transaxle down all the way right here. So now that we have that, we should be able to just kind of slide this belt around on each side. This looks like the trickiest of the 3 right here. Might have to go backwards on this one. Come on, buddy. Let's go here. There we go. So that's off now. So now we can start the process of opening everything up. We'll do the back transaxle here first, and then we'll move on to the front, and then we'll put the pulleys on. So let's do this back belt. Here is the part number for the belt. I think they may be the same for all of them. We'll double check fitment before we put it on. They are the same size, so that's good. So now we're going to put this on. I'm just going to slide it over these pulleys one more time. This is actually sliding better than the original belt that was on it, so that's good. I have to push it back this way in order to get it on this one. Let's see. Just doing a slide job here. Just gonna pop off that other one though now. There we go. So now that's on. We'll just reverse what we did. I hope I didn't mess anything up looking at this for y'all. We'll tilt this transaxle up, put this engagement cable back in while we're thinking about it. There's a hole that goes in it right there. So that's in. Now we're going to move on to the front. Hope this battery will last for y'all while we do this. I'll put you on this side because we'll slide y'all through. And you're just going to go around this little pin here for the pulley. Now that's on that pulley. Now we can come back over here and remember how the orientation went? I hope y'all do, because I probably don't, but we'll see. So pulley number 1, gonna go inside right here. Here, I'll do this so that y'all can see how they go. I'll fasten them together. Put all the covers and stuff back on. So number 2 goes, let's see, so it goes around this pulley like this. Number 2 is going to go like this. Number 3 is going to go like that, all right? So that's your pulley orientation. I'm going to bolt these down and put the covers back on, which is just the reverse of what I did. And then we'll get this thing out and test it out. If it works, we're going to clean her up, change the oil, do all the good stuff with that, and wash it, and this thing will be ready for sale. Alright guys, got it all back together here. Ended up swapping out, put a different mulch cover on it. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than the one that was on it. So let's see if it'll start. Number 1, should, had it running. It was vibrating. I put a different blade on it. Let's see if it vibrates, and then if the all-wheel drive works, we'll clean it up, change the oil, and pretty much be done with this. Seems like it's bound up or something. Feels like it's bound up for some reason. So, make sure I'm not screwing up anything here. drive cable is frozen on it. Hope not. Might have to free that up a little bit. So let me work on that and I'll be right back. Well guys, I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. I got it cleaned up and should be ready to go. One thing about this mower is the whole time I've had it, it's basically started on like the first or the second pull. So running issues, it has none, thankfully. It was vibrating, the blade fixed that. And then we put the pulleys for the all-wheel drive self-propel. It's working good. I don't think this wheel is turning, but it's not pulling or anything of that nature. This mower's never going to be perfect either, so it's got some blemishes. This mulch cover actually had a broken tab on it. I tried to get the spring and stuff in there. It didn't work, so I turned in, just put a couple self-tappers. It's just a straight mulcher now, unless somebody wanted to take them screws out. But it's got the bagger, mulcher bagger. It's good. Still got a little bit of oil on the deck, but it's not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be perfect by any means. So, it'll work. The pull rope, I had to do a little bit of modding to the cover here to give it a little bit more room, because the pull rope I've replaced this with didn't have, or it comes out at a little bit of a different angle, because the other one, the spring was broken, and I figured that I'd just replace this as opposed to trying to replace a spring since I had a good recoil. The only other thing is that this rear bolt right here didn't have anywhere to go, because the other pull rope mechanism also had a provision for that. So all I did was I drilled a small hole in this little piece of plastic that's behind the gas tank. It's not part of the gas tank. Put a zip tie on there so it stays down where it needs to stay. Again, new pull rope. I adjusted the self-propel up here. I had to go to as tight as it could. This is still a little bit tighter than I want it to be, but it works pretty good. I'll show you that it runs and that it drives. I was having an issue with it not wanting to come back either, but now that I've ran it some, whenever you take the self-propel and disengage it, it didn't want to go backwards on its own, but I have, since I've run it, it's gotten a lot better, so that's good. So that's it, guys. Again, this mower probably would have been a little bit closer to a $200 mower if it was in better shape. It's probably going to realistically be more than about a $150 mower. These all-wheel drive Husqvarnas were pretty desirable when they came out, but I think there were a little bit of issues, especially with the belt and things like that. Just the general maintenance is a little bit more, and they were a little bit cost prohibitive too, because I think you had to pay between like $400 and $500 to get one. This mower right here is probably $500 to $600 new, because it's one of the higher end with the Hondas on it, and so somebody ponied up some cash for this, and it's aged fairly well. I think it's set for a little while, and then the pulleys and stuff got rusted underneath, so that's where most of the problem lied, and then just general freshening up has gotten this into a decent unit again. So I appreciate y'all watching the channel. I hope y'all enjoyed the process of putting this self-propel back, just replacing all the pulleys and everything of that nature of the belt. First for me, and I hope it helped y'all out. And I appreciate y'all watching. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Ellis at ellismowers.com. or at Ellis Mowers 09 on Instagram and Facebook. And I will catch y'all on the next video. See you then.